All right. Hello, everyone. All right. So, today I wanted to talk a little bit about what you might want to do if you feel stuck in therapy or if you're your therapist. So, before I get into that, I do want to let you know that I'm assuming that you have a therapist that you feel comfortable with, that you feel understood by, and that you feel safe with. Because research does show that that therapeutic relationship is the greatest factor when it comes to change and feeling better. So, if you don't feel this way, check out my previous video where I give some tips about online therapy and I also discuss having a free consultation so that you are able to find a therapist that you feel comfortable with. Okay. So, assuming you have that in place, I'm going to talk a little bit about, what to do if you are starting to feel stuck or if things might not be going the way that you want them to. So, you might feel really intimidated to bring up what you're feeling. Maybe you don't want to hurt your therapist's feelings if you feel like things aren't going so great. Or you may even have a little bit of imposter syndrome that maybe you're not doing enough to make changes and you feel like you're not doing therapy right. So, those are some things that might be coming up for you that are stopping you from bringing this up. So, I want to emphasize that it's important not to push aside the thoughts that you're feeling stuck. If you're noticing that that's coming up, recognize it and trust yourself that maybe there is something going on that you want to explore and address. Maybe something does need to be adjusted in therapy or with your therapist. So, the first and foremost, I would suggest telling your therapist that you're beginning to feel stuck in the therapy process. They might be able to help you work through what the next best steps are for you or some changes that might need to come up. So I know it can feel really, really scary to express discomfort with a therapist or even with the process of therapy, but it can be worth it. Some of the best sessions that I've had with my clients are when we're discussing just what's happening, what's going on in the therapy room. As therapists, we are there to hear everything. And therapy does work best when you're completely uncensored and able to express everything that's coming up for you. And we want to hear that. When you bring it up to your therapist, they might notice some things that you haven't. Sometimes we can be really hard on ourselves and not realize that maybe we've made some more progress than we realized, and we feel stuck, but maybe there's a lot that has happened that we haven't noticed. So typically therapy involves both developing like that insight and awareness and exploring how to change our patterns. And this can definitely take some time as well. Sometimes when we're feeling stuck, it could be because we're not necessarily ready or able to change some of the patterns that we're noticing. And it might take some more time to work through what that change might look like, how to make those changes, if you even want to make those changes. Because sometimes, we don't want to change, and that's okay too. So, for example, you might be someone who, you look like you have it all together. And in therapy, you might be starting to focus on expressing your feelings to others. And it may feel scary to start doing that because it's very vulnerable, and you might not be ready or even in a safe enough space in your life where you're ready to start doing that. And that's totally okay. Therapy is a process, and part of that process is working through and understanding your patterns and what it will take to make changes, and if you're able to make changes, and if you're ready. And, I keep saying this, but therapy really is a process. And the overall message here is that there could be so many different factors that lead to us feeling stuck or lead to you feeling like you're not making progress. And I always recommend bringing up these concerns in therapy. And you can, if you're worried about bringing it up to your therapist, you can even tell them, I'm worried about bringing this up with you. Like when I say that therapy is uncensored, I really mean it. Like you can bring up anything that you're experiencing. So I hope that this was useful and you found this video helpful. If you think that this video might help someone in your life, feel free to share it with them and to give them a little bit of suggestions. Okay, all right. Take care.